So the reef and kelp habitat here in Oregon is really important for gray whales. They're frequently found feeding right in the kelp and on the reef. And so recently what we've seen in the last 4 or 5 years is this real big decline in kelp abundance and health on these reefs where the gray whales often feed. And that's coincided with a huge increase in purple urchins. And so what we documented happened is that when there was a marine heat wave, there was also a big sea star wasting disease. And so these big, beautiful sunflower sea stars, which are the main predators of urchins in Oregon waters, they were decimated. And so without that predator around and with the warm waters, those urchins really increased, and the warm waters made for bad growing conditions for the kelp. And so at the same time, there were a lot of urchins around feeding on the kelp. So urchins normally just feed on the drift kelp that falls down and to the seafloor, and then urchins go around eating that. But when there wasn't enough drift kelp, they started actively eating on the kelp itself, so climbing up the stalks and eating the kelp. And that meant that there was no more kelp around, or much less healthy kelp to form the nice reef habitat that supports all the zooplankton and the fish that make our reefs here in Oregon so vibrant. And what we've documented alongside that trophic cascade without the sunflower sea stars and with so many urchins and the decline in kelp is that there was also a decline in the prey for gray whales, and then less gray whales in those reefs feeding.